Hello everybody, welcome back. We are at the semi-detached, the Elements challenge, and as you can see I've changed the color of the utility room's door. I think it works better with all the same color doors. And I changed out those plants that were sort of hovering half out of the pot. And I've put these things in, which are not my favorites, but you know what? They're okay for entranceway plants. You can still sort of see the fire coming through there, but it is what it is. Okay, so the day before, I said I would stop fapping on this wall, which I did, but I would put some fruit here on the counter, which I've done. I added some utensils, some jars and containers and all kinds of odds and ends, plates, bowls, and other stuff over here. So this is looking a little bit more like a working kitchen now. The table has a few odds and ends on it, and I put these up. I don't know, I if they didn't have lights on they would be amazing, but let me know what you think of that. But I think the bookcase is looking good. We have books, we have odds and ends and little quirky things, and today we are focusing on, we've got 3 rooms left. We've got the guest room, which I think I want to use this picture as our inspiration. It does work with the colors we've already thrown down here. Because it's such a small room, excuse me, we are probably not going to use these colors with this intensity. But I thought that was a pretty darn good picture to use. Then remember I said my job was to find a picture for here. I found this one from, well, all these pictures are from Unsplash. It's a website that you can download the most amazing work from, photographs and all kinds of things. So thank you, Unsplash, I really appreciate it. And I see the roof is popping through here. I have no idea why the roof is popping in here. It was, I swear I checked. Okay, let's just push it up a smidgen. There we go. Don't want the roof pushing through. Okay, then we have the guest bathroom, which I have done nothing with yet. But this is the main ensuite. Exact replica of the one next door. And I thought of this picture. It's a close-up image of lichen. And I just think the textures and the colors are absolutely gorgeous. And I tried hard to find paints and wall treatments in the colors that would work with it. So this was our original mood board that we saw right in the very beginning, and I have moved away from it a little bit, but I think what we've got out there definitely gives a nod to the mood board. So what I did in the other place is I actually took this mood board and I resized it down, and I will probably put it somewhere. It might go somewhere, but this is the colors that we're looking at for this room. I have completed the flooring in here. I've put skirtings in, and as you can see a glimpse from the bathroom, I've also played in here. I've got these colors on the walls, and I thought this beautiful chunk of marble would look gorgeous in here. because it gives a nod to the earth in not only that it's marble from the earth, but it almost looks like tree bark, which is also from the earth. And then I've got all the different odds and ends that we're going to play with. I've also put this corner area section in here. That doesn't want to do that. There we go. So we have the curve in this shower as well. We don't really have that many curves as much as plant shapes, but I don't think you'd want a plant shaped shower, so we're gonna work with that. All right, so looking at these colors that we have here, I'm closing this door. Hello, close, thank you very much. In fact, I want to change that door so it actually opens the other way. That's better, much better. Okay, so I think before I play with colors on the walls, I want to get shapes. Let's find us a bed. This I haven't researched yet. Now, because we've got that huge bed, the picture, the huge picture, it can either go above the bed or it can go on this wall here. So I can always enlarge it as well, but you can actually get an idea of all the colors there. Let's look. Now this, I like the concept of the round headboard. I don't think this would work, but hear me out. What happens if we use something like this as the headboard? Just a thought. Let's put this in here. Don't even know how big it is. I think it'll be 1. I think that would be quite cool. We can figure out what we want to do with the actual colors at a later stage. But if we do that, we can play with this bed here. And as you can see, this bed can be used we could do something like that. It would have to be finagled, I know that, but now that would be option 1. The other option would be using perhaps that for the back of the bed and that for the foot of the bed. And again, it could be interesting. So let's play with woods. If we're looking at all the colors behind us, let's see what we can find here that will look good. That would work with the colors. I know where the driftwood, it's my knee-jerk reaction. But let's look at it in that context. And could be interesting. It's got a lot of texture to it. And then we could possibly we have to make this bigger this way. Come on. Let's move. Yeah, I'm pushing buttons again. You do see this. Okay, so if we're looking at that, maybe we need a lighter wood. Okay, those are the 3 woods that we have. We went for this color. All right, let's look at this color here and see how that would look. Maybe not on that wall. Becomes very I actually prefer that one. Okay, if we're going to put that color behind the bed, let's just do that. Then we can see what color is going to work with it. If we used this wood, it has got a really interesting grain to it. So if we take it, this is the color of, we are there. See, that would take it to pretty much the same. So if we took it to the lighter color, we can change it. Nothing is set in stone. It could be fun. And then we can always put a lot of plants in here. Still don't know if I like that picture on that color. It won't fit here. It's going to have to go on that wall. How about, yes, I'm playing. Seriously? I swear I did that. It actually looks pretty good. We could possibly do that color over that side and take it to here, because this is the dressing area. And let's see, I'm going to throw that color just over there for now. In case we want it. Do we want 3 colors in this room though? Probably not. And if we use this color, this bed's going to have to change color. Okay, let's look at European walnut as an example. It's pretty nice. Works nicely against the color of the wall there. Still turns with that, although that's a little bit more orange. Let's play with this and pop it against the wall. Okay, the bed is pretty much the right level off the floor. It fits. This needs to come across it. I think that's quite interesting. Let's see what we can do with this. Maybe we can go with a cream on the pillows. The mattress can probably also go with that cream to lighten the place up a bit. And then the duvet, I don't want fluffy. I don't want fluffy. Let's see what we can find here. The one thing I'm leaning, you see, that could possibly work. If you look at the shapes on that, and you look at the painting in the background, it could be interesting. Our base color would be probably something like that. Maybe. Ew. 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 No. See, as soon as it gets darker, it gets pinker, which is unfortunate. That would tone with the color in the wall and totally clash with the color we have on the hate that. See, it starts becoming way too saturated there. Alright, I'm going to have to play with that. We go with that. That literally looks purple. I don't like that. I'll play with the bedclothes. I just wish we had the option to pull this down further on the sides, because right now this bed needs some support on the sides here. I suppose we could color it to do something. Where's my little favorite block? You're not going to sit against that, are you? Okay, well, that's one good way to actually see what's lined up where. Because clearly this needs to move over a little bit. There we go. That gives it a little bit more. Now the question is, I wish we could copy that onto that, but we can't. That's fine. I will just do the wood for now, and we can come back to it at a later stage. Can I get you? Yeah. No. Yeah. Let's just take that off because I'm going to go blind. I'm sure you guys will too. Where are you? Come on, get in there. And there. There we go. All right. I'm not sure about the color on this wall. I'm thinking. Is that too dull? Let's try that. It feels better to me. It doesn't look as crazy. And then let's play with this. We need something else. We need something perhaps with a hint more green. See that? These are clouds. We know these are clouds. Maybe. I really like this. Then again, that also is pretty good. Hello, can I please keep that? See, that to me feels a little bit more masculine, but we can play with that. And that's got the greens in it as well. Let's get some side tables. Actually, let's get some side tables. And I'm looking for something with a little bit of interest. Maybe these. They're a little bit heavier. They might anchor the bed a bit. We went with the European walnut. Maybe let's go with copper. Let's see how tall these are. That's very short. How tall is that? Also very short. We need something a little larger. What do you say? That might work. Yes. Okay, well, let's play with this. I'm okay with those handles for some reason. I'm usually not okay with those handles, but I quite like them. Actually looks pretty dang good. Oh. And maybe, just maybe, actually let's put a light switch on the wall by the door. Maybe we can get some hanging lights in here. Scary that I'm actually looking at these, but hey, I'm wanting something that I can pull down. These we know are quite chunky. These are really pretty if you go with, say, the copper. Except for that. Better. Not too bad there. Let's blend this up. It's actually very pretty. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit more positive here. And if we wanted to, we could then do a little bit of work here. Maybe some vines. Now we've got the orange ones. We've got the red ones. I think I want to go with the green. Do we want to go? No, we don't want to be that crazy. Where is just the straight? Thank you. Maybe. I don't know, I just like the plants. I'm sorry. I suppose the plants should be... Wow, look at that pretty one there. They should be enclosed, encased in a holder. But at the end of the day, you know, how pretty is that? I really like that. I take it. Tell me if you hate it. Tell me if you don't hate it. Actually, you know what? Let's... I know you can change... There. You can see I've got... There was white around there. So that actually just takes the white line around if you get it in the right size. I think that is really pretty. We've got the side lights. I would like to put an ottoman or a seat or something on the side here, so you can always sit and change shoes or whatever. We've got this one, which I think could be fun. Wouldn't mind bringing that orange in here. That's too yellow. That's too peach. Okay, let's put it down, and that's not too bad considering. Question is, do we want just that, or do we want something next to it? It feels like there should be something next to it. That. Maybe not that color wood. Maybe we should lighten it up a bit. That could be fun. Okay, I am going to keep this wall color. I like this wall color in here. I am going to go with a greener curtain, but now that I'm keeping it, I can just do that, and then I don't have to paint around the windows. So that is awesome. I think a mirror or something maybe on this wall. Or a couple of pictures. Could be fun. No. The ceiling is way too high for that little mirror. It would have to be a longer one. Okay. I think before we put cupboards in, let's do curtains. Because curtains are a pain, a royal pain in the butt. So I think it's these ones. It'll do. I always put them like past the floor for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. Okay, not all of them. Seriously? Okay, as I was saying, but that looks okay. All right, so the $1,000,000 question is, what color are we going to do this? Now we've got these very subtle colors here. We've got the richer colors here, and then we've got this sort of army green on the wall here. So, do we go for a gold almost? Or do we go for let's do options here and then we can figure it out. That actually has a look, but it is fairly intense. Let's put lights. Let's just get a light here, and then we've got a better idea. You know, scary enough, this gold actually looks pretty good. This green is terrible, so let's do that. Okay, that is pretty good. If we do the copper here, actually gives it a lot of brightness in this area. Wakes it up a little bit and looks interesting. Okay, I'm going to run with that for now. All right, so let's move this over here somewhere and let's see what we're going to do. I'm thinking of doing these with the doors, obviously. Just don't know. Okay, that will fit there. And that will fit there. You're right in the corner. Yes. Now I know in the other bedroom we gave a sort of privacy wall here, but I think we can do that with florals. So I'm not too worried. The only thing I am worried about is color, because now we're bringing in this pretty gold, this deep rich gold. So do we put blinds on this or do we put curtains on this? I suppose curtain. You can just keep them closed. At least they're clean. Seriously? hate when I do that. Maybe. Seriously? Can I please copy you onto there? Thank you. Don't like that gap in the middle. That's better. Okay, I can live with that. The only thing I am now confused about is the colour. I think let's leave the handles off because the handles are not necessary. Now, the yellow wood could be interesting. So could the stained mahogany. That gives a whole new meaning to the word. That could be fun. I like that. Okay, let's try this and see what it looks like. It doesn't look bad at all. The only thing I don't like about it is that the height of the wardrobe as opposed to the height of the ceiling. Wind up, that isn't. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. Question would be, do we use another one here? That gives a really nice amount of wardrobe space. Let's take that out. And then it's more centered down there. Okay, let's take this light away now. And have a look and see what we need to light up here. I don't know. To me, it's very 70s. I don't know what you guys think. Is it 70s? Is it too 70s? Maybe? It's gonna be 70s. Maybe we need the big disco ball in there. Yeah, decisions. Maybe. We are going to need a lot of color in here to take this a little bit further down. But I'd be very interested for your feedback. I will also be putting all the bits and bobs together. You know the story. Let's find us we've got a lot of new books to play with. I don't know if you've noticed. We've got, I say that and then they vanish, these ones here. So we've got mushrooms, we've got beetles, and then we've got Raymond Chase. So always nice to have a couple of books next to the bed. once again, let's see if we can place a yes, we can. Oh, look at that. Awesomeness. And no, we won't keep that color. Now, $1 million would be how big are you? Ooh, that's quite pretty. We are going to need a number more of those. A few more of those. Should we put a sofa here? We can probably put a really big one. Can't really put just a little ottoman in front there because that is a huge. You see, we can always push it into the floor, and then it's doesn't look so big. That would be cheating a bit. It doesn't quite look as overwhelming. But I would like to put a plant. You know me. I would like to put a plant. No, I want an orchid. That a peach orchid? Wow. If the light's on it, it isn't peach. Camera. Dang it. The light in the way. Alright, sit on the floor. It'll be fun. Okay, and the ottoman there instead of in front of the bed. We are going, that looks so tiny there. How about, big is this? Would it fit? Would it be weird? Possibly. But is it comfy? Yes, it is. See, I've been messing around in story mode. I want to sell it with the architect tool. Okay, I want to change it though. Let's stay with basic there. Do I want to mess with okay, let's confirm that, and then let's just take that and copy it and put it on there and see what that looks like. It doesn't look so good. Okay, how about a stripe? That could be fun. We can't turn the stripe around. Why can't we turn the stripe around? too bad. We want that. I am not too sure. These golden curtains have thrown me a little bit. Maybe I need to tone them down. Should we? I prefer that. It got me briefly, but I prefer that because that makes more sense in my head. Really does. And then we can always put down a carpet and lighten it up a little bit. Let's use the suede. We can change it. Let's start here. Now you can actually see what I've done here. It's like sunken into the carpet. That's better. It's got feedback. Maybe we should go with a slightly peachier color here. We go with the burlap. How peach is that going to be? White peach. It's got more of a glow to it. And it sort of brings that color down into the floor. And then you've got the green here, which I still need to add to. Okay, it's a start. Should we find a little table? Something, again, I really love this little table. If you put the wood on the base, it's really cool. Maybe we should go with the stained mahogany. Maybe the darker wood on top. How big is this one? That's a lamp for a light and a lamp for a light. That's a table for a light and that's a table for a cup of coffee. What do you think of the wallpaper? Yes, it's fabric. We've got that one outside the living room. Maybe we should just go with a, how about that? It's not a bad shape. We do the copper thing and perhaps, yes, the mahogany. it feels big when you place it, but if you look at the light, it actually doesn't shine that. The light is not cast very far, shall we say. I don't know, I'm liking that. I'm thinking of changing this though, because now this is very subdued and subtle. So maybe we should go with mahogany. It actually looks pretty good. Actually, that just gives it a little bit of light, don't you think? Okay, let's do that. And mahogany. Why? Yes. That actually pops it out with the colors in there. I'm going to take that as a win. I would like... I'm thinking of... Where's that chest? Is it in storage? Instead of that. The only thing is with these is you can't really place anything on top of it. This isn't bad. We can use it. We could probably even pop it behind there if we wanted to. But the one thing I have learnt with this is if you take this and then you take the tray, yellow gray, for example, let's use this as an example. You can't place it on there. I hate the glass because it vanishes in. But if you place it just very carefully on top, obviously you can't open the chest now, but you can put stuff on the tray, which is cool. No. What am I looking for? I am looking now you can place stuff on the tray. How about a mug? Okay, well, I'm happier now than I was with the gold curtains. The gold curtains were beautiful, but no. So I'm going to take this. I'm just going to move this back, and then I'm going to have to move that back. Otherwise, it's in the way. And I think the only thing that needs to be done in here would be to actually put some more plants. Some more plants on top. I don't want... Let me just put in a couple of these. Should be fine. You're not going to see them. Whoa, okay, that's a little bit bigger. I was a little over enthusiastic there. Wouldn't mind a geranium, but they need a fair amount of water. So we'll just keep going with the ferns. What do you say? Maybe something else on top there. But let me know what you think. I'm liking the colors, and then if we go out here, you'll see the colors actually do work with the rest of the house as well. Okay. Damn thing. Come on, you're going to come down here. Just enough so that I don't walk into you when I walk out the door. So if we're standing here, you've got that much deeper green, but it ties in with this green on the walls. I think that works. Guys, let me know what you think. Am I losing my mind? Should I have these weird Christmas decoration in the living room? What do you think of the bedroom? Let me know. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. If you've got this far, please subscribe. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.